Nobody tells you that building a company is mostly a mental game. And that's what I figured out starting my company 6 months ago, is that it all starts at the base of your mind and your mindset. Because your mind can be your biggest enemy or your biggest champion. And it takes a lot to actually go out and start that one thing. And I'll always go by the one thing my roommate told me when I first started it is don't give up. It is don't give up, because it's all a mental game and getting there. And I realized that when I was doing my internship this summer, is my mindset was set on doing the wrong thing, on working for someone else, when I could have been in the game grinding every single day for the thing that I wanted. And I have to take that away from this summer, and what I've done is that it's not all going to be handed to you. It's not. You have to work for it, and you have to save yourself. All right. And this is the other thing. You're always going to be underqualified for anything you do. Me, I'm a cybersecurity major, a computer science minor, and I'm building a health tech company. Health, something that you need an MD or a PhD to operate in, but I don't care. Why would I care? Because if I build a product that people want, then it should be fine. Right now, I have plenty of users, plenty of customers paying for the product that I built, and I have nowhere near an MD or a PhD because it's a quality product that helps people in a space that's unclear, and I'm glad for that. And that's part of my passion, is helping people not go down the wrong path of hurting themselves by using medications that can potentially be dangerous. And this takes me back to a point where you don't have to know everything. As long as you're willing to learn and pick up things and be your biggest champion and fail, be willing to fail, then you will be completely fine in the world. You will. You're going to learn so much, you're going to pick up so much, you're going to be ambitious, and it'll be over. You'll have it. You just got to put that initial thing in and work hard. And work hard. And this is another thing that I've learned building my startup and company, is that you should really take time to pay attention to detail. We shipped our first initial product in 8 weeks. It was very fast, but does that mean it was the best product? No, it doesn't. We didn't take enough time for user testing, which now we've implemented on and have plenty of user testing and plenty of people and feedback that we've iterated through and made a great product. But at first, it was just something that we rushed to get to market. And I think taking the time to get to know your customers, taking the time to get to know who you're building for and what they want and what quality they want is more important than getting the product to market. Because at the end of the day, if you bring a shitty product to market, someone's going to use it for a week and then never use it again. And that's just something you don't want to happen. The other thing, or the next point I'm going to make, is that ownership is a big part of this space. Taking ownership in what you're doing. Right now, I'm the CEO, I have a CTO and a COO. And every single person has to own their part in the process. And if someone is not pulling their weight, I will let them know that, because it's very important to. If you're not taking ownership, then something's not going to be done. And in this company flywheel, there has to be this constant churn of things moving. And if one thing falls apart, then the whole machine stops working. It's done. And that's the thing I've realized, is that you have to keep everybody on the same thing. So I like to say chief CEO is the chief everything officer. You do everything for everyone. And that's just making sure everybody's doing the right thing. So the next thing is going to be, don't take no for an answer. Taking no for an answer is something that I did originally in high school, college. Like, I would ask for stuff, like when I didn't get into some of the colleges I wanted to, I would just give up. When I didn't want to go to some of the schools that I was swimming D1 for, like, I would just give up. Never take no for an answer. Never do that, because it's not good for your mind to just take failure. And I've learned that in starting Peptide AI, and that is what's helped us be successful so far is I just rammed and rammed and rammed until something worked. People were telling me, oh my gosh, you're too unqualified to do this. This is such a dumb idea because these things are unresearched. And look what happened yesterday. The PCAC, the FDA's PCAC voted for 6 new peptides to be eligible for compounding in the United States. Did I know that was going to happen 3 months ago? No, but it did happen, and I took the risk, and now it's working out well for all of us. And that just shows to say, like, being an early mover in a space is good, but never take no for an answer, because eventually someone's going to say yes. Eventually, that one idea you had, it's going to work. Eventually, one of them's going to work. So keep at it and keep pushing. The next lesson I've learned is this is both in corporate world and in entrepreneurship, is your outcome never should be the same as your effort. In entrepreneurship, I've learned this because you have to put so much effort in before you even see an outcome, and you should not quantify your success by the outcome. You should quantify your success by the level of effort you put in and the amount of passion and fun you have doing it. Because if you're putting in a lot of effort, it may fail. It may fail, yes. But as long as you're loving the journey, you have to love the journey for it to work. You can't say, my goal is money, so I'm going to do this to get to my goal. That's not going to work. You're going to be fucked, in all honesty. So you have to really associate the effort you put to it with your love for the journey and detach the outcome. Don't weigh on the outcome. It doesn't make sense. For mistakes and stuff that you do wrong, really analyze what you do wrong so you don't make the same mistake again. This is something I've learned in content and social media creation, is that I could put video after video after video, and if it's not working, it's not going to work. If it didn't work once, it's not going to work again. So you have to change stuff and keep testing stuff out to see if something will eventually stick. And the ones that will stick, double down on it. Double down on it, and you'll be good. You'll be good. And I just want to really close this video out with the fact that, going back to my original point, is all these things play into mindset. It all plays into how you perceive yourself and how you can do it. And the biggest thing in entrepreneurship in this world is self-belief. Believing that you deep down are the person to do it. That you can do this shit. You really can. And my mom, my dad, my entire family has always told me I could, but that's not enough. You need to believe in yourself. I was a swimmer, so a lot of it came with self-belief. Because in swimming, you're racing against 8 other people, and you're the only controller of the outcome. It's not like a team sport where you can blame one on your teammates or your coach. You are the only person that can control your fate in swimming. The same with business, the same with entrepreneurship. You are solely responsible for everything. And the only way you don't knock yourself out is if you have self-belief. And it is so important to have that and keep staying by that, because without it, you will fall and crumble. It happened to me a month ago. I was in the deepest mental hole I had been in since I broke up with my girlfriend in high school. But it was a different type of hurt. It was like I didn't know who I was because I had lost all my self-belief. But now I have that motivation back, and I'm never going to lose it again. Through the tools I have, through journaling, telling who the world I am before they let it define it for me. I'm telling them who I am, so I can iterate on that and be better, and I'm not letting someone define my outcome. So get after it and get to it. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope this was helpful. Have a good one.